under the lights this evening as we get you set for another edition of Baseball on the Show. Tonight, we've got a good matchup in store between the Oakland A's and the Baltimore Orioles. It's Orioles baseball, and it's coming up next. Jorge Lopez gets the ball for the Orioles in this one. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, you take a look at that ERA. That's a little bloated right now. This guy's a better pitcher than that, but he hasn't been real consistent. One good game, one bad game. I think what he needs to do, if he can string together 3 or 4 good quality games in a row, that ERA will start creeping back down. He definitely needs to start pitching a lot better than he has up to this point. And it'll be interesting to see if he can turn it around in this one.
Guys, the Orioles, as they begin play here tonight, they come in not exactly setting the world on fire as they've dropped 5 of their last 8 ball games.
Yeah, Matty, the last game, they got to wash that down the drain. They got absolutely boat raced by a big margin. They got to put that behind them, show up to the yard today, looking to fight. Everything changes once the first pitch is thrown.
Not a bad night to bring the parka along. 54 degrees at game time. It's 2-1 to the A's leadoff batter.
The offensive game plan today is certainly to see the ball up. This guy is known on the mound for sinker changeup combination. He's going to try and establish down in the zone to get swing and a miss or ground balls consistently. You have to find something above the belt to get loose on.
Jed Lowry waits on deck. Here it comes now to Andrus. And this will ricochet off of him on the mound. And they'll have no play as he reaches first base safely. Wade LeBlanc is forced onto the mound now following the injury.
Number 49, Wade LeBlanc. The second baseman.
Here's Jed Lowry now, as he'll take a look at ball 1. He's ready for his first at-bat of this early season contest. Now the 1-0. That one's going to find the seats. Strike 1.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a big pitch for him today.
Popped up. Mountcastle over to his left. 1 out.
Batting third.
And here's a shot of the Athletics starting lineup for this one. Thoughts, Dan? Who stands out?
Yeah, keep an eye on Elvis Andrus. You can bet the opposition spent a decent amount of time crafting a game plan to stop this guy, because as he goes, so goes the team. You stop him, you've got a chance to win. You don't, you're probably going to lose.
And that'll bring in Matt Chapman, as he'll take a look at a strike right down the middle. It's 0-1. The average coming in, 257. 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2. And now a right-hander up and throwing in the Baltimore bullpen. Here it comes on 0-2.
Oh, that's out.
Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone.
That strikeout was all about setting the hitter up with hard stuff. You can see the first 3 pitches are coming in fast, and then he slows it down on the 4th pitch, knowing the hitter is sort of conditioned for the hard stuff. Yet another way to upset a hitter's timing.
And that'll bring up Matt Olson as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. He'll enter play with that batting average still shy of the 220 mark. 5 homers, 9 driven in. Fastball taken, but that gets the zone for a strike.
Boy, this is one of those ABs you like to hit the rewind button on. Put himself in a tough spot now, hitting with 2 strikes.
The 0-2 pitch. And strike 3 called as he says, "You got to be kidding me," with the side retired. The A's strand 1. The Orioles due up in the first, no score. Sean Manaea is on the mound for game 2. Dan Plesac, what's the word on it?
One of the things that jumps out if you look at that stat sheet, a very high whip coming into this start. One of the things he's going to have to do a much better job, keep traffic off the bases, keep the walks down, try to limit the amount of hits. He's had a rough go of that so far this year. Let's see if he can turn it around in this one.
First offering on its way. Austin Hayes is in to start things off as he looks at a ball to start the inning, 1-0. And Dan, D-Row, this Oakland ball club entering play here tonight. They've been playing some pretty good baseball of late as they've won 6 of their last 8 games.
Yeah, Matty, I know we're getting ready for game 2, but yesterday, man, road trip got off to a great start. They pounded the baseball, pitched, played defense. This team comes in riding high into game 2.
Lifted in the air out towards left center. Left fielder is on the move. He gets there and makes the play for the first out. Now a moment here in Baltimore for the Orioles starting lineup. D-Row, tell us about this lineup as they try to force a rubber match in the series.
I got that this lineup, Matty, in Oriole Park likes to swing the bats. This place plays small. This place has a low wall. You can drive it out pretty much line to line, and there's a lot of room to be a hero in this yard.
Into the box now, Freddie Galvis as he puts it on the ground to third. And quickly there are 2 away.
Batting first, the first baseman.
That'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle, looking to get on base and keep this first inning alive. Now the pitch. Ball. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. That evens it up, 1-1.
Hey, you guys know me. Hitting's a process of elimination, and I'm eliminating the changeup this next pitch. I'm on everything else.
Fouled off again, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. Into the windup and the pitch. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Piscotty's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles, and this is still a 0-0 ball game. And that'll bring in Ramon Laureano. It's been a really slow start to the season for him, as you can see by the April numbers on your screen. Now here's the first offering. Ramon Laureano is in to start things off here as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. So let's take a look at our umpiring crew in this one. Working the plate, Rusty Valentine.
Hey, you know, D-Row, Rusty Valentine, he's known for having a high and a low strike zone, but He's pretty good east and west. You better keep it on the corners.
Yeah, I'm okay with Rusty's zone, without question. You know he's going to elevate. It's north-south, so you're aware of it. As a veteran player, you can live with that. Now, you can tell right there that curveball had some serious depth to it. That's what separates the good ones from the bad ones. That nasty spin rate, get that downward action. You even get a star player like this swinging at something in the dirt.
And he got him.
I'll tell you, it's hard to get more of a confidence boost than striking out the best hitters in the lineup back to back to back. He's looking really sharp right now.
In now, Mitch Moreland. And he fouls this one off. He's ready for his first at-bat of this early season contest. Oh, and 1 count, and the pitch. Hit back up the middle. Galvis has it. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
Batting 7, the left fielder, number 4, Chad Pinder.
And that brings up Chad Pinder. He also had 3 hits in the win last night. First pitch on the way.
Well, if you could throw it for a strike consistently, a first pitch changeup is effective. Hitters are almost never looking for it.
Nope. Ball 1.
After watching that one go by and a ball being called, you could rest assured he knows he's not getting away with another one of those. I guarantee you he's going to be aggressive on this next pitch.
No score here as we play inning number 2. One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. The pitch. Now a curveball misses inside.
Pretty good breaking ball to lay off of right there. If I'm pitching, I might think this guy might be sitting on something off speed.
All even at 2 and 2. Here it is. Hit softly on the ground to first. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. Pretty painless half of the inning, all told. On now to the bottom of the second, and we are tied 0-0. Anthony Santander, the next to bat. He was hitless in the shutout last night.
Right fielder, Anthony Santander.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Hangs on him a bit that time as it's belted out toward deep center field. Out of here to the deepest part of the yard. So it's a solo shot to dead center. 4th home run here in the early going. As the O's are on the board first, it's 1-0.
Hey, listen, there's an old adage in baseball that solo home runs won't kill you. This is one of the top hitters in that lineup. So a home run, a solo home run right here, it's not the end of the world.
Rio Ruiz to the plate now.
The third baseman, Rio Ruiz.
Behind on that one, now behind in the count, 0-1. Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now, 0-2.
you have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
And that finds the outfield grass for a base hit.
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
Standing in now, Jahmai Jones, as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1, and he's looking to get it going. Off to a bit of a slow start this year. From the belt, kicks and deals.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike. Balls, 1 strike.
Hit on the ground down the first baseline. Andrus on to first, but not in time as he's in there ahead of the throw. So that one wasn't quite hit sharply enough to turn 2.
Well, when you get a ground ball in a double play situation, you always want to turn it, but that was a tough hit to do it on. You don't want to rush and make a mistake and get no out, so that was a good job to at least get the runner going into second.
Set, here it comes. DJ Stewart is at the plate as he watches ball 1.
That's a classic piece of pitching right there. You have to back hitters away from the plate to make them a little bit uncomfortable. Now you can go inside or outside. I like that purpose pitch.
And he watches a called strike as this one bears in on him. 1-1. Now a throw over, and he'll get back in standing. A 1-1. Using the slide step to try to control the running game.
Yeah, that's a good way of trying to control the running game, Matt. The problem with it, though, it has a tendency to throw your command off because you're worrying about that runner on base.
Jones stands at first with 1 out. All even now, 2-2. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Hit hard to the right side. And that gets through for a 1-out base hit. And they'll have runners at the corners following the 1-out single.
I think the whole ballpark knew he was going to go with the sinker right there to induce the double play. The only problem is he can't guarantee it's going to be hit right at one of his infielders. Tough luck.
At the plate, Maikel Franco, as he'll take a breaking ball too low, and it's 1-0. And he's got runners at the corners here with only 1 gone. And here's a pitch inside, and that got him.
This is a perfect example of why the slider is such a great pitch and such a dangerous pitch, too. Sometimes it moves so much that you just lose control of it. This one runs way too far in, and the hitter is standing on first as a result.
Pedro Severino digs in at the plate. Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's ball 1. He'll come into this one with an average way down at 235. 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. ready with the 1-0 pitch. High in the air out to center field. Catch made in center. Here comes the runner from third. And it's a sac fly and an RBI. It's now a 2-0 game.
Obviously, he's hoping for more up there with the bases loaded, but you can't be too upset with a sac fly.
Austin Hayes the next to bat. Twos all over the place. 2 on, 2 out, and of course, here in inning number 2. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
Oh, that's off.
Just off the outside, and it's 1-0. 2 down, runners at first and second. Inner third let go. It's a called strike.
Even though it's early on in this one, anytime you get runners in scoring position, you'd like to knock them in.
Here's the 1-1 delivery.
Nope,
And that's
ball.
taken up and in for ball 2.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball out to left field. Going back is the left fielder. See you later. Over the wall, a home run. So a 3-run blast to straightaway left. Home run number 3 here in the early going as the Orioles have opened things up now 5-0.
Here in Baltimore, you see a lot of guys get robbed because the outfield wall is only 7 feet high, but he had just enough to get it out of here, much to the outfielder's dismay.
Into the box, Freddie Galvis. Standing in from the right side as he takes strike 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. The windup and the 0-1. Edge of the zone that time taken and ruled a strike.
After falling down 0-2 on the same pitch, don't be shocked if he triples up on it.
2 out, nobody on. A ball and 2 strikes to the Orioles shortstop.
I love a well-executed changeup, especially one down in the zone. The only problem throwing it in that situation, you leave that belt high or miss your spot just a hair, and you could have some problems.
Hard hit towards center. Laureano is there, and he puts it away to stop the bleeding. So they nearly bat around here as 8 men come to the plate in scoring 5. We'll go now to the top of the 3rd. It's the Orioles 5 and the A's nothing. Outfielder Stephen Piscotty the next to hit. It was a 2-hit effort for him, including a home run in last night's game.
They've gotten a gut punch to start this game. There's no doubt about this, but that's when you have to turn the scoreboards off. Everybody do their job one at bat at a time.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Ball, that's just out.
The 1-0 home. Hit hard on the ground to second. Scooped up. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is gone to start the 3rd. And with that, we'll give you a quick look at our current standings in the AL East. One gone for the A's here in the 3rd, and that'll bring up Sean Murphy. From the stretch. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Fly ball out toward left center field. Long run for the center fielder. He gets there, and that's the second out.
The batter, the shortstop, Elvis Andrews.
Back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Here it comes now to Andrus. Timing just a tick off there as this one's fouled off to the right. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch.
1 ball.
Might have been looking to find that outside corner, but he couldn't quite get it there. It's 1-2.
He wasn't even close to swinging right there. That was a stone cold take.
Here comes the 1-2. Hit on the ground out to short. Galvis is there. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the A's. They can't chip into that 5-0 deficit. Bottom of the inning now. Here comes the first baseman, Ryan Mountcastle.
The first baseman,
Now the pitch. And a changeup here misses off the corner to start him out. It's ball 1. Ball 2 with a sinker that runs off the inside.
Hey, you want to talk about being in a zone? This guy's been raking lately, and it all starts with his pitch selection. 2 great takes, and he's almost daring the pitcher just go ahead and challenge him.
2-1 after the foul ball there. Into the windup and the pitch. And that misses off the plate and low, so it's 3-1 now.
I don't blame him for not coming over the heart of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He's been swinging one of the hotter bats in the game.
The 3-1 pitch. And good patience exercised as he works out the walk to lead off the home half of the third.
That was a great battle right there. He tried to get him to chase, but he laid off some really tough pitches and got a walk. Got to tip the cap to the batter that time.
Ready now for Baltimore, Anthony Santander. Off to a fine start in this one after launching a homer his first time up.
Yeah, and he wasn't fooled at all by the changeup last time. Kept his hands back and absolutely destroyed that ball. So I got to think he's not going to see a changeup in this scenario right here.
No balls and a strike to count. That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
Hey, you know in the back of your mind as a batter right here, he's got that nasty sinker. I know it's 0-2, but he might not be looking for the punch out. You have to find a way as a batter to get that two-seamer up in the zone, or you're going to ground into a double play.
From the belt, kicks and deals. And this one's in the dirt. Good job there as the count goes to 1-2. This is foul right side. He'll try again, 1-2. Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball.
These last two guys are making him work quite a bit out there. Both have been long at bats, and all in all, he's had to make 13 throws just to them so far.
He's set. Here's the 2-2.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get in auto swing mode. You still have to control the strike zone.
Here's another 2-2. Changeup taken for ball 3, well below the zone.
He's definitely going to want to get greedy in his zone, and he's obviously seeing the ball well, or he would have swung at that pitch. Sometimes in these long, epic at-bats, you start to get into swing mode.
He's set. Here's the 3-2. On pitch number 10 is the one that finally does it as he strikes out after a long battle here.
Well, that call looked like it was a little in the pitcher's favor, but it wasn't outrageous. Hey, listen, calling balls and strikes is a really tough job, and even the best are going to miss some from time to time, especially when they're sort of borderline like that last one. Not sure the hitter would want to hear that, though.
Just gets a piece of it. Strike one. A base hit in his first trip. Runner goes for second. Pitch misses low. The throw down. It bounces, but he's out. Nice play there to pick the throw and put the tag on quickly.
It makes it a lot easier for a catcher to catch and throw. Even though this throw bounces into second, poor jump at first base gives him the time needed to throw him out at second.
The 1-1 home.
The count is 2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Grounded back up the middle. There is Andrus. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. Nothing doing this time around for the O's as they're unable to add to their 5-0 lead. Digging in, the switch hitter, Jed Lowry, as the switch hitter will bat right-handed here. And now a pitch on the way. Fly ball out to straightaway right. Santander waits on it, 1 down.
Now batting, the third baseman, Matt Chapman.
So 1 down, no one aboard. And up next, the power-hitting third baseman, Matt Chapman. First pitch coming, here it is.
That's a ball.
And they start him with 1 high and away for ball 1.
Man, this guy has retired a whole slew right now. I think what he needs to do is just stay focused and keep attacking the game plan like he has up to this point, because everything he's done has worked.
Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1. Now a high fly ball headed for the corner in left. It has the distance, and that nearly would have gotten him on the board. Instead, it's a long foul ball.
Ah, man, just a hair early on that one and just pulled it foul. He's going to have to find a way to refocus. Not easy to continue an AB after you just went deep foul.
No runs, just 1 hit, and no errors in the ballgame for the A's so far. Rolled slowly down the third baseline, but this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Swinging a hard liner to center field. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
Now batting, the first baseman, Matt Olson.
That'll bring up the power hitter, Matt Olson. Now the reliever remains in the game here, having pitched very well, but this is a longer outing than what he's used to.
It is, Matt, and I really tip my cap to him for gutting this thing out right now. On the other side, I worry they're being a little bit too greedy by leaving him out there. There are options left in the pen, and it would be a shame if all his hard work got undone because he started making some mistakes in location due to fatigue.
A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. Here's the pitch. 2-0.
This is a spot you really don't want to be in with a great hitter like that. You can't just lay one in there, but you also don't want to run the count to 3-0.
2-1 to the A's first baseman.
Hey, boys, you talking about getting your ace swing off right here? That's what it looks like. A guy with massive power letting it eat.
And he'll just fight this one off as it's chopped foul. Swinging a hard hit ball down the line in right. And that's a fair ball as it'll head toward the scoreboard. He'll get it into second. And now he'll get into scoring position with 2 away.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit there and turned it into extra bases. And to me, this goes back to what we were saying about this reliever pitching longer than he's really used to. I do think he's fighting exhaustion right now.
At the plate now, Ramon Laureano, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
At the ball.
Tough spot to hit here as a hitter. You have a base open, so you have to almost be trying to think like the pitcher. Is he going to try to pitch around me, or is he going to come in the strike zone?
1-1. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes now. Swing and a little blooper to center. Here comes Hayes. He can't get to it. This one's down. And they're not going to get him. He's in there at the plate.
Boy, big game yesterday from these guys, D-Roll. It takes them a little while to get through on the score column, but finally they get through in the middle part of this game.
Yeah, Dan, yesterday it was a fight to get to the bat rack. Everybody was squaring balls up left and right. Today, not the same. Pitcher's been executing, but they were able to dial it in. Hopefully that's the breakthrough.
Into the box now, Mitch Moreland. In the dirt. And it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. And he'll make it into scoring position here with 2 away as that'll be scored a wild pitch.
Wow, 1 pitch ago he had only given up a single, but that wild pitch, that single essentially turns into a double. Those kind of things can absolutely kill you.
The 1-0 home.
Hey, the bullpen needs to step up in this situation. I got to believe the manager was hoping for way more than this.
Two-0 count, the pitch. And he can't catch the corner here, so he's behind 3-1.
Well, you can see here, this has been a steady diet of off-speed pitches, and what has it gotten him? Not a whole lot as he's fallen behind in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike.
This is pulled into right. Santander grabs it to retire the side. A run on 2 hits, and they leave 1. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. The Orioles lead it 5-1. Welcome back to Baltimore as we send you down to check in with Heidi Watney.
Matt, I had a chance to discuss the state of the Orioles offense with their manager between innings, and overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. He said they've done a nice job of keeping their swings inside the strike zone and not chasing after pitches they can't do much with. The numbers say their chase rate in this game is under 25%, and with a bunch of runs on the board right now, that could be a big reason why.
All right, thanks, Heidi.
The second baseman,
First offering. And this is swung on and hit to Lowry at second. Throw by Lowry, and there's the first out.
now batting, number 24.
Next, it'll be DJ Stewart. He singled and scored in his first appearance in this one. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. A ball and no strikes. 5-1 our score as we play the fourth here. 2-0 to the Baltimore left fielder.
And this is why he's struggling right here. He's not able to pound the strike zone early in the count. These guys are finding themselves in serious count leverage situations, and good hitters aren't going to miss.
Gets the call on the changeup there. 2-1.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
Too much dip on the sinker. Laid off for a ball. Maikel Franco is on deck. The 3-1. Checked his swing there, and did he go? No, he did not, says the third base umpire, so it's ball 4.
The batter, number 3.
Oh, man, that check swing was about as close as they get. Tough call for the umpire, but it goes the batter's way this time, and he draws the walk.
In now, Maikel Franco, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. No official at bat for him, but he has scored a run in this one. Set and the 1-0 pitch. And a strike to even the count. 1-1.
Hey, I don't mind that batter taking that strike right there. He's walked a couple people early in this game. Got to find out if he can find the zone. If he wants to walk them all in, we'll take it.
And that's on the outside corner. 1-2. Looks like a right-hander's gotten up to throw now in the Oakland pen. Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. Here he comes again, 1-2. Line, but speared on a hop. Barehanded for one. Relay to Olsen. They turn the double play, and that retires the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. We played 4 full. It's the Orioles 5 and the A's 1. Welcome back. Heidi Watney standing by as we get set for the top of the 5th.
Well, Matt, I talked to manager Bob Melvin during the break about his thoughts on the A's hitters to this point. And one thing he mentioned to me was the lack of discipline he's seeing out of their at-bats right now. He said they've been chasing at pitches out of the zone all game, which obviously doesn't usually lead to good results. Until they start being more selective with their swings, he said they will continue to struggle.
All right, Heidi, thank you. New inning set to get underway, and standing in the outfielder, Chad Pinder.
Chad Pinder.
Here's the pitch. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Stewart is right there. And very quickly, one gone.
Now batting, the right fielder, Stephen Piscotty.
So one out and nobody aboard. And up next, the outfielder, Stephen Piscotty. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1. Pulled high in the air out to left field. And this is handled easily, so quickly 2 are gone here to start the 5th.
Now batting, catcher, Sean Murphy.
In at the plate is Sean Murphy. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. He's ready. Here's the first pitch.
Ball.
It's a 5-1 game here in inning number 5. A ball and a strike. Takes this the other way to right, and that is in there for a 2-out base knock. So with that, the top of the 5th is still alive. So he's aboard here on the 2-out single, but overall, this is one of the weaker offensive ball clubs around, at least in terms of team batting average. And that's not all that promising a number, as they find themselves just one spot off the bottom in the American League. So Elvis Andrus the next to bat. As he'll take a look at the pitch too low. It's ball 1. A hit in 2 tries for him so far. The 1-0. Shot to left field and deep. Look at this. Gone. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. 4th home run here in the early going, and it's a 5-3 game now.
Yeah, and if you remember the previous pitch, he couldn't get around on a fastball and was mad at himself. Well, there's nothing to be mad about anymore, unless you're the guy standing on the mound wondering what just happened.
Travis Lakins, the 6'1" right-hander, will be the one to get the call from the bullpen here.
Number 70, Travis.
So now to the plate, Jed Lowry. Batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike 1. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Slow grounder to first. And not too shabby out of the pen. Takes just 2 pitches to get the ground ball, and that ends the inning. But the Athletics strike for 2, both coming on this 2-run home run. On to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Orioles. At the plate now is Pedro Severino. He hit a sac fly earlier.
The catcher, Pedro Severino.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Ball in.
Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball. And another foul ball. Another 1-2 delivery. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
After multiple pitches were fouled off, it gets a little disappointing as a pitcher. So you think, say, I'm going to throw one way off the plate and see if he'll chase it. Didn't happen.
The 2-2. High and deep down the left field line. And he's going to have room to put this one away, and that's the first out.
The batter, the center fielder, Austin Hayes.
Back to the top of the Oriole lineup now, and stepping in, Austin Hayes. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. First pitch of the AB now. Breaking ball called just a bit low.
Count 1-0.
Hit out towards second. And that'll get on through into center, and he's got himself a 1-out hit.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
Standing in now, Freddie Galvis, as he'll ground this one foul for the first strike. 0 for 2 for him to this point. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Pitch outside. The throw. Perfect throw, and they got him at second.
Clearly, they were hoping to be aggressive and doing some running tonight, but I think they're going to need to adapt now. It's not working, and you just can't keep running into outs.
The 1-1. Strike 2 swinging.
I'm pretty surprised by the location on those last 3 pitches. The book on him is that he hits the away pitch pretty well, and he just saw 3 in a row out there.
So does he go back out there again?
No, Matt, I expect him to mix it up. Most catchers won't call for the same location over and over and over. Yet if you get a guy flailing at a pitch like that, heck, you're going to go out there and throw that same pitch till he proves he can lay off of it.
This one's outside, quite a bit off the plate that time.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Now a changeup just off the plate as that misses for ball 4.
The first baseman, number 6.
2 down with a runner at first, and that'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle. A look, now the pitch. Hits are even right now at 5 aside. And this misses the outside corner, so it's knotted up at 1-1.
Well, that sinker is normally a really important pitch for him, but it really hasn't been effective so far. It just looks kind of flat.
1-1, here it comes. Chopped weakly to the left. Set to deal on a ball and 2 strikes. Grounded weakly to the left. Chapman brings it in. On to second for the force out, and the side is retired. 1 left for the Orioles, and it remains 5-3. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Matt Chapman. First pitch on its way. Lifted down the line in left.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
Into the windup, here comes the 0-1.
1-1.
Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. The 1-1 is a ball high and inside. Here's a breaking ball, but it doesn't quite find the strike zone.
A 3-1 count, tying run on deck. Good spot to be a hitter right now. You have to look for something middle in.
Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact.
Hey, 3 foul balls in a row right here, searching for that put-away stuff.
Ground ball sent back up the middle, and that'll get on by into center field for a leadoff single.
The first baseman.
At the plate, Matt Olson. A ball and no strikes. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. The 1-0 home. A swing and a miss, strike 1.
1 strike.
And he lays off for a ball, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Let's see what they throw Olson on a 3-1 count.
Call didn't go his way on 2-1, but it's important here on 3-1 to still make a quality pitch. You have to have the mindset that you're still the one in the driver's seat.
Chapman gets his lead at first, nobody out. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's set. Here's the 3-2. Boy, good cutting action to that pitch as that's the first out of the inning.
This is the pitch I think we'll see a lot from him in this game. The cutter darting in on the hitters in the opposite batter's box. It can be a real effective pitch when it's located well, and that one was right there.
So 1 gone for the A's in their half of the 6th. And digging in now, Ramon Laureano. First delivery to him. The high fastball is in there.
You know, a lot of guys don't like to swing at the first pitch. That might be the case with this one right here. Took a wheelhouse fastball, 0-0 center cut. Didn't even give the impression he was swinging.
I got the count.
Swing and a miss, and he's in the hole 0-2 now.
Everything this guy throws is hard. That changeup he throws is in the high 80s. to go along with that good heater.
And he struck him out. Second time tonight now that he's been set down on strikes. That's back-to-back strikeouts now as they've been unable to advance that leadoff single into scoring position.
Yeah, clearly no problems working out of the stretch right now, Matt. He's taking control of this inning after giving up that hit. Now we'll see if he can finish it off strong as well.
Into the box, Mitch Moreland. As he can't make contact and is tied up here at strike one. No hits to this point. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. Way inside with that one, a pretty easy take there. It's 1-2. Two out with the man at first. Lays off 2-2 now. Three balls and two strikes, a full count to the A's DH.
Good running count right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. He'll be off to the races on this pitch.
Turned on down the line. But this will get foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. Full count here. Here comes the pitch. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Already 24 pitches to this point in the inning. And it's fouled away. Another full count pitch home. Popped him up. Ruiz waits on it. No problem with this one, and the inning is over. One left for Oakland. They're still down 5-3.
I don't wear no cape or apron, so I ain't saving you a cleaner house. Do you think that's just a statement? Then you ludicrous like it's word of mouth. I ain't new to what I'm about. Excuse me, miss, like.
Adam Kolarek enters to do the pitching in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 21, Adam Kolarek.
Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And next it'll be the outfielder, Anthony Santander. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Now the 1-0.
Ball 2.
Kolarek, a former Dodger. He came here by way of trade earlier this year.
I know he'd tell you he'd like to be playing a little bit better, but I think it's as advertised for this ball club right now. I think the manager is getting exactly what they expected.
The 2-0. Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first. Swing, high drive, left field and deep. And that ball will stay fair, and it's gone. A home run. So a solo shot down the line in left, his second home run of the game, and it's now 6-3.
Second home run of the game right there. He is locked in at the plate. You hear so many of today's players talk about rhythm and timing. Well, he is perfectly on time in the heart of the zone.
Into the box now, Rio Ruiz. As he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. Lifetime versus this pitcher. He's 2 for 3. A 1 pitch on its way. Well above the letters with the fastball that time. The 1-1 home.
Nope. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball 3.
That's the heavy sinker right there. He has the ability to get ground balls when he needs them, potential double play situations, or to get that jam job with no one on base, that tapper right back to the pitcher. One of the toughest pitches to hit in the game.
And that misses for ball 4.
And don't forget, he gave up a long ball earlier in this inning, so you can understand why he wasn't too aggressive with him there. When he got him to 3-1, he wasn't too anxious to challenge him.
And now, Jahmai Jones. He bounced out last time up. From the stretch, here's the pitch.
1-0.
Too much dip on the sinker, laid off for a ball. The 1-0 home. And he's keeping it down here, and that's a called strike 2.
Wow, I'm shocked the hitter took it right there. That's a well-executed pitch down in the zone to try and get that double play.
Changeup laid off down around the shins. The 2-2.
I got 3 and 2.
Both teams with 6 hits so far. And he lays off there, ball 4. So back-to-back walks have him in business here with nobody out.
Well, it's obvious that earlier home run he gave up is still on his mind. He had him 3 and 2, but he didn't want to give him anything over the heart of the plate to hit, so we'll see if that walk comes back to hurt him.
Next to hit is DJ Stewart. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
Ball 1, no strike.
Sinker runs outside to start the at-bat, 1-0.
This is one of those classic bunt situations here, but it's not a given anymore like it used to be, and that's the case even more so in the American League.
That misses, 2-0.
Got to find a way to execute either a good fastball down the way or flip something off speed for a strike. You cannot miss over the heart of the plate in these situations. The hitter is on high alert.
Down low, and the plot thickens here, 3-0.
I'll tell you, it's a helpless feeling for a manager or a pitching coach when your pitchers are having a really hard time throwing strikes. What are you supposed to do other than keep trying new guys until someone starts attacking the zone?
3-1.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he lost it right there. He had no feel for the baseball, missing wildly several balls in a row, but able to attack the zone right now. Let's see if he gets back into it.
And that misses. Ball 4, and he's going to need to settle down in a hurry now because he's in a peck of trouble.
Right about now, the manager's questioning his decision to bring this guy in. If you can't trust a reliever to throw strikes, you can't trust him at all. We'll see if he comes to get him sooner than later.
And now the designated hitter for the Orioles, Maikel Franco. He's set, and the pitch. And he takes ball 1.
You're hitting in a situation like this, find a way, slow your heart. There's the one pressure. Something middle plate, drive some run.
Fouled off. 1-1 pitch and a good sinker there, but he can't find the zone. 2-1.
It often becomes harder to hit the zone when the pressure starts to heat up.
Heading out towards shallow right. Piscotty's there for it. He makes the catch, and tagging is the runner from second.
Now batting, the catcher, Pedro.
In now for the O's, Pedro Severino. It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd like a base hit of some sort right here, Matty. But hey, you know what? Another flyout wouldn't be all that bad. If he can get it deep enough, he should be able to drive in a nice run with a sac fly.
Now the 0-1. Hard hit ball towards the hole. And that's through into right field for a base hit. One run is scored. And he's safe.
Hey guys, that was a nice job by the batter right there. He's able to get his front foot down early, recognize the backdoor slider, stay inside it, and drive it the other way.
Mike Fiers takes the mound to try to get out of this mess. There are two on with only one away. Austin Hayes will stand in as we'll flash you back to the second inning as you get a look at this key 3-run home run. He's set. Here it comes. Grounder down the line at third. But a foul ball here, 0-1. As a look, now the pitch. Possibly a double play ball now for Andrus. To Lowry at the bag. First, and talk about doing that out of the bullpen. Batter, 2 outs, and the inning of the O's get 2. More on this on Saturday following this. Tanner's pitch from the bullpen now to start inning number 7. Striding in for Oakland, Chad Pinder. His prior history in this matchup, small sample, a perfect 1-for-1. First offering on its way.
Count 1-0.
And that's high for a ball, 1-0. Two-0 the count to the A's left fielder. Two-0 count, the pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. And no one will get this one. Swing and a flare down the line. And that's in there. Base hit.
Well, that's what's so disappointing as a pitcher, DeRo. You make a really good pitch, and yet this guy's so big and so strong, he's able to muscle it into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, you hand your batting gloves to the first base coach right there, and you thank your lucky stars. That's a nice AB.
So that'll bring up Stephen Piscotty. Just able to get a piece of that for strike 1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Comes set with the 0-1. High and deep to right center. Hayes on the run for it. He can't make the play as it hops over the wall, and that's a break for the defense as it's going to keep the runner from first from scoring.
Hey, it's hard to say if he would have scored if the ball hadn't hopped over the wall. They might have held the runner at third because there were no outs, but who knows? Either way, they'll still wind up with a runner at second and third and still no outs after the ground rule double.
Sean Murphy stands in for the third time now as he takes a look at a ball. It's 1-0. A hit and 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. The 1-0. Pops this one up. In there, a base hit. And the second runner will stop at third, and they're at the corners now with nobody out.
Somebody's going to be icing their thumbs after this game. That's a jam sandwich, but able to mix in a knock.
Here's Elvis Andrus now, as he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1.
It's not easy to continue pounding the strike zone when you've given up 3 consecutive hits, but he has to trust that getting the ball down in the zone will get him an out.
Runners are at first and third with none out. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Santander waits on it, makes the catch, but the runner from third breaks for home. They'll cash in here as the run is in to score from third. That makes it an 8-5 ball game.
Now batting,
So a runner at first now with 1 away. And up next, the switch-hitting Stanford product, Jed Lowry. Has a look, now the pitch.
Ball. Ball 1, no strike.
He's ready. Here's the 1-0. Had nibbled the corner there, but missed. 2-1.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
And they set up away with the fastball, but it misses. 3-1.
Well, tying run on deck. He should get something really good to hit right here in a 3-1 count. I'd be sitting on a fastball middle in.
Grounded up the first baseline. He's got it. There's one. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. So 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and no one left. 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. It's the Orioles 8 and the A's 5. Now into the box, Freddie Galvis will try and get something started in the home half of the 7th. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
Nope. That's inside. Ball. That's inside.
The 2-0. 2-1 to count. Now here's the pitch. To 2-2 now.
2-2.
Popped up. Shackman over to his right. Makes the play. 1 away.
the first baseman, number 6.
Now to the plate, Ryan Mountcastle. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. First delivery to him.
Nope, ball 1. Count 1-0.
hit the other way out toward right field. Piscotti is under this one, and that's out number 2.
Now batting, the right fielder, Anthony
Santander coming to the plate again as we look back at his 2 home runs in the game so far, and the most recent back in the 6th inning. Now the first pitch. Sends that one out of play for strike 1. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. That's lifted the other way out to left. Left fielder giving chase. He's got it. A great running play, and that'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles. They're on top by 3, 8-5. Brent Suter will come on in relief now as he'll make his 10th appearance of the season.
Number 35, Brent Suter.
Ready to begin the 8th, and that means Matt Chapman will dig in at the plate. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. Chasing after it is Santander. He makes the catch. A great effort to get there and record the first out of the inning.
Now batting, the first baseman, Matt Olson.
So here's the Oakland cleanup batter, Matt Olson. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat. First offering.
Got to find a way to scratch at least one across. You do not want to take on the monster closing the game down 3.
Bouncer up the middle. And that'll find its way into center field for a 1-out hit.
Now batting, number 22.
To the plate now, Ramon Laureano. He swings and grounds it to short. To second for 1. Relay to first in time, and just like that, the side is retired. Down go the Athletics on a total of 4 pitches. Still looking up at an 8-5 deficit. Stepping in once again is Rio Ruiz. A hit in 2 tries for him so far.
Third baseman, Rio Ruiz.
First pitch on the way.
Outside, that's the ball.
Oh, the old classic 2-strike. Let's throw the fastball right down the middle. Not in this game. Got to believe you got to work the corners a little bit more. Fastball command is paramount at this level.
It looked like the fastball got away from him there.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
Full count, 3-2. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first out.
Boy, there's nothing better from a pitcher standpoint than watching that high fastball, a high piece of cheese, swung at and missed. That pitch looks so inviting to hit, but it's awfully tough to put in play.
So now to the plate, Jahmai Jones. As he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. 0 for 2 for him to this point. The windup and the 0-1. Tries to drop one down here, but he misses. Strike two. And he couldn't get him to chase the 0-2 fastball. It's 1-2. Here's a fastball in on the fists, and that'll even things up at 2-2. 8 runs, just 7 hits, and no errors for the Orioles so far. And he takes ball 3, so it's a full count now.
Wow, from 0-2 to 3-2, and that last pitch on 2-2 wasn't even close. He had this guy in the ropes, but now he let him right back into this at bat.
Swing and a liner. And that's in for a base hit. Make it a 1-for-3 game so far.
There's a lot of moving parts in some guys' swings. It usually takes them a month or so to get it ironed out.
And prior to the first pitch, he'll look to first. And the runner back. In now, DJ Stewart, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. It was a walk in his last trip. Now a 58-foot curveball that misses for a ball. Stewart, a 27-year-old, he was a first-round pick back in the 2015 MLB Draft.
Yeah, he has turned himself into a really nice ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't miss with this pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has, nice pick.
Maikel Franco will be next. (3-0), here it is. And this one will be out of play off to the left. Set. Here's the 3-1.
Hey! We got full count.
Runners on first with one down. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. A ball that's carrying. On the warning track, he makes the catch.
The batter, number 3, designated hitter, Maikel.
At the plate now is the designated hitter, Maikel Franco. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. First pitch on its way.
When that threat of running's on first base, man, does that change the whole pitcher's mentality. This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters coming right at him.
Runners on the move for second. That's a strike. The throw down is not close as he's in there with a stolen base.
It was pretty obvious he would likely be on the move with 2 outs, and I'm sure the defense knew it too, but he has lightning speed and was able to take the bag anyways.
Detecting with 2 strikes, went out of the zone that time, but he stays alive.
On 0-2 here, he doesn't have to give in with a great pitch to hit. He's got a base open, so he has to focus on making a good pitch right here.
And a swing and a miss as he pulled the string on the breaking ball, and the inning is over. Orioles lead 1. They're on top by 3, 8-5. Cesar Valdez comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the ninth. Now the A's designated hitter, Mitch Moreland. Lifetime versus this arm. Not a big sample size, 0 for 1. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Hey, there's an old saying in baseball, you need to take a strike in this spot. Well, he got one there. Now he just needs to find a way to get on.
Ready with the 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. And this is low, ball 2, 2-1. Swinging a soft liner. Throw on to first for the out, and that is how the ninth inning gets underway. Next up for the A's, Chad Pinder. He scored after knocking a single in his last at-bat. First offering.
1-0.
Count. Here it is. High and deep down the left field line. One out, nobody on. And here's a slider for a called strike, and he's behind 1-2 now. Nope. 2-2.
Hey, that's a nice take by the batter right there, but that's a non-competitive off-speed pitch. Got to do better to at least entice a swing.
And he misses this one inside, and that'll run things full, 3-2.
You know, you don't always have to straight challenge a guy on a 3-2 count. With the 3-run lead, no one on base, this is the perfect situation to do it. No reason to nibble and possibly set up a big inning.
So he froze him for the strikeout. Chad Pinder is retired, and now they're down to their final out in this one. So the next to bat will be Stephen Piscotty, and he needs to make something happen. They're down to their final out here in the ninth. Here's the first pitch to him.
Ball right now.
The 1-0 home.
That's ball 2.
The last thing you want to do when you've got a 3-run lead in the ninth is give the other guys any sense of hope. It's a good time to challenge here on 2-0, especially since there's a good chance he's taking until he gets a strike.
Now a changeup, but it misses just a little below the zone. Sean Murphy would be next. 2 out, nobody on. And he'll just float a change in here now for a strike.
When you're hitting at the bottom of the order, you better be keyhole in the middle of the plate. You cannot allow pitches like that to go by.
And he fouls this one off. Crowd of over 39,000 on their feet. Hit weakly back to the mound. Throw on to first, and the Orioles have come back to even up this series at a game apiece as this ball game is over. 8-5 tonight. Baltimore took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Wade LeBlanc claims the win out of the pen, his first. Cesar Valdez closes the door for the save, his 5th of the year. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and Heidi Watney, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
final line score tonight. First for the victorious Orioles, 8 runs on 8 hits. No errors. They left 5 men on base. For the Athletics, 5 runs, 10 hits. No errors. They left 5 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 46 minutes. Thanks for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.